Good morning. Welcome to Morning Mindfulness with Joe. My name is Joe Clarke. I'm a spiritual healer based in Oceanside, California. I do offer one-on-one sessions. You can learn more about me and my services at my website, which is jdcspiritual.com. Now, the method I'm going to teach you today is called I Am, I Will. You can find this and other helpful mindfulness methods in my book, which is called Soul, Supportive Guidance for Healing and Awakening. Soul's available for purchase at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and authorhouse.com. Now, before we launch into the method today, I'd like to briefly touch on 4 touchstones of successful practice. These are good principles to keep in mind when you're gauging how wisely you're doing your mindfulness practice. Now, the first touchstone is commitment. It's resolving to practice, choosing to actually do it. And by showing up today, you've done exactly that. The second touchstone is consistency, practicing regularly. I invite you to think of mindfulness practice a lot like a fitness routine. If you think about jogging or swimming or lifting weights, the more consistently you do it, the more benefits you see. And mindfulness practice is much that same way. The third touchstone is flow. This has to do with the difficulty level of your practice. What I invite you to do is don't make your practice too hard and don't make your practice too easy. Look for that sustainable groove right in the middle. And so if you find yourself struggling in your practice, if you're straining, if it's feeling really difficult, see that as an invitation to ease up. Let yourself relax and even pause if you need to until you feel like you're operating in a more sustainable pace. And likewise, if your practice is getting too easy, if you find yourself mind wandering or really only giving it part of your attention, use focus to finesse your energy back into that groove. And this is that sweet spot right in the middle where we benefit the most from our practice and we enjoy it the most too. The last touchstone of successful practice is be good to yourself. If you remember nothing else from what I say today, let it be that. Be good to yourself. And one way to succinctly summarize what I just said is this quote from the mindfulness teacher Culadasa. In his book, The Mind Illuminated, he wrote that success in a mindfulness practice comes through repetition with a relaxed attitude rather than from effortful striving. So if you find yourself in your mindfulness practice feeling like things are getting too difficult or too easy, you're not sure what level of effort to apply, come back to this line: repetition with a relaxed attitude. All right, last preliminary measure for today is posture. I invite you and myself to cultivate a healthy, comfortable posture. Here are 4 good posture goals you might keep in mind. Let your posture be aligned. Notice how your pelvis, your spine, your neck, and your head are aligned with one another. Let your posture be balanced. One way to gauge balance is to gently let yourself sway forwards, backwards, side to side, and then let your posture settle on what feels like a natural balance point. Third posture goal is let your posture be open. If your posture feels in any way closed, gently let it open like a flower to the light. And lastly, let your posture be soft. If you find yourself getting stiff or rigid to try to maintain a particular posture, just come back to your alignment, your balance, and your openness, and then soften around those. All right, so now I'm going to teach you the method for today, which is I am, I will. And to help you see the value and the benefit of this method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you right into a scenario. I invite you to picture that you're at the grocery store and you're shopping for strawberries. So you're standing right at the refrigerator where the strawberries are kept. And what you're doing is you're picking up the baskets of strawberries and you're looking at them closely to make sure that they're not bruised or they haven't turned yet. And as you're carefully inspecting these strawberries, all of a sudden something pops into your head. You realize, oh, I got to set out the chicken to defrost before dinner tonight. And then right on the tail of that one, another to-do pops up. You go, oh, I got to email my boss about the vacation request. And then another one pops up. Oh, God, that's right. I got to reschedule my dentist appointment. And then before that one's even done, you remember, oh, and I got to pick up my dog's medication. And as you do that, you can notice a shift that's happened. Before you were engaged with those strawberries, you were focused on your current task. You had a goal in mind, right? Pick good strawberries. But as all those to-dos began flooding in, it can begin to feel almost like a hornet's nest in the mind. And we could become absorbed and preoccupied in that mental activity. And as we do that, we become less and less engaged in the physical activity we're doing. We might just get kind of fed up and put strawberries in the basket without really checking them first. Or we might stand there with our eyes kind of fuzzed out, kind of frozen in time as this hornet's nest of to-dos operates up here. Now, if this were a moment where time didn't matter, if we found ourselves with unlimited available time, well, this would be a pretty easy and simple thing to do. We would just stop, take out our phone or a piece of paper, and just write down those to-dos that we want to remember. Defrost the chicken, email the boss about the vacation request, pick up the dog's medication. Easy. The challenge is that's not the scenario we're in right now. Right now we're at the grocery store, right? And we have a young child with us. And that child doesn't want to wait as we pull out our phone or a piece of paper to write those things down. Or you could also imagine we're at the grocery store and we have an important appointment coming up shortly thereafter. So we've really got to get through this, get the groceries home, get the groceries in the fridge, and then get to that appointment. There's really not much time to spare. This is a situation we often find ourselves in life. We can call it a time crunch. So what can we do in this time crunch? How can I both honor what I'm currently doing while also helping myself to remember this future to-do that I know I want to remember? That's what this technique is all about. I am, I will. This technique helps you refocus on your current priority while honoring a future goal you have. So first I'm going to teach you the mechanics of the method, and then we're going to do some scenario imagining to help you practice the method so that you're more comfortable using it in real time. Now the method itself is very simple. It involves 2 steps. What you do is you say, silently or aloud, first, what you're currently doing, and you state it in simple and concrete terms. And step 2 is you describe one thing you're going to do later in simple and concrete terms. So I've laid out some examples here. So for example, I am shopping for groceries. I will email my boss about my vacation request. I am tying my shoes. I will switch over the laundry. I am watching a movie. I will set the chicken out to defrost. I am jogging. I will confirm my hair appointment. Now, because this is a technique we use in the heat of the moment, in time crunches, in the flow of real life, the best way to practice this the best way to practice this method is through scenarios. So what I invite you to do is I invite you to immerse yourself imaginatively into real life scenarios. We're going to experience a time crunch. And we're going to imagine that a to-do pops up that you really want to remember. And then we're going to practice using the I am, I will method to help you both honor that current activity while simultaneously improving the chances that you'll do that future to-do as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Go and come back to that healthy, comfortable posture. If you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes. Gently pause for a moment to bring a little bit of stillness and a little bit of silence into your energy field. And now imagine you're sitting in your car at a traffic light. You've got your hands on the wheel, your foot's on the brake. You can feel the seat belts across your chest. As you're looking out through the windshield, you're looking at the traffic light. And you watch that light go from red to green. And as that light splashes to green, a thought pops up right away in your head. Ooh, I gotta set the chicken out to defrost. I know, let's freeze time for a moment. We'll press pause on this internal video. And of course, if time was no object, or if we were the only person on this road, if we're sitting in our driveway, what we could do is we could just pull out our phone and set a reminder to pull the chicken out to defrost. Attach it to an alarm or a calendar event so that when exactly the time is right, we remember. But that's not our reality right now. We're sitting at this intersection, the light just turned green. We want to focus on the road in our driving, and we really want to remember to set that chicken out to defrost. Let's press play on the video. I am driving. I will set the chicken out to defrost. That's the method. Let's do another scenario. Come back to your posture. Let your eyes be closed. Gently reconnect with a little bit of stillness, a little bit of silence. And now in your mind's eye, imagine you're at the grocery store and you're shopping. It's a time crunch because you've got a dental appointment coming up not long later. So you got to finish this grocery shopping. You got to get these groceries home into the fridge, and you got to make that dental appointment. These are your goals. This is what you want to do. And as you're shopping, a reminder pops up in your head. Ooh, got to email my boss about the vacation request. I know, we'll freeze the video for a second again here. And we can remind ourselves, look, if I'm sitting on the couch at home and this reminder pops up, what I can do is I can actually do the task right there on my phone, perhaps, actually email my boss about the request, get it done and over with, check it off the list. Or if now's not the right time to do it, I can set a reminder to do it later. I can even email myself, right? And when I see that email later, I'll remember, oh yeah, I got to do that, right? That's what we do in the abstract. But here we are in reality. We're shopping and we got that appointment coming up. We don't want to miss it. How do I focus on this current activity? How do I get back into my shopping while simultaneously improving the chances that I'm going to remember to email my boss later? Press play on the video. I am. I will. I am shopping. I will email my boss about the vacation request. That's the method. Let's go right now into a third scenario. Come back to your posture. Come back to those gently closed eyes. Sense a little bit of stillness, a little bit of silence in yourself. And now picture you're standing in a coffee shop and you're next in line. As you're standing there preparing to place your order, a reminder pops up in your head. Ooh, I got to pick up the dog's medication. We pause the video. What do we do in the abstract? Right, what do I do if I'm sitting in the car in the driveway? I've got time. I'm in no hurry. Just set a reminder on my phone. That's not this reality right now. I'm next in line at the coffee shop. I could get called up at any moment. I don't want to hold the folks up behind me. What do? Press play. I am, I will. I am in line at the coffee shop. I will pick up the dog's medication. That's the method. Now what I'm going to teach you is an optional add-on to the method. This is something you could do to make the method both more enjoyable and more effective. And the add-on is this. You reinforce the I am, I will practice by expressing gratitude. When you complete a task you said you'd complete, thank yourself. So here's an example. I'm cooking and a thought pops into my head. Okay, I've got to switch over the laundry. Don't want to step away from the cooking task to set a reminder or to switch over the laundry now. So I use I am, I will. I am cooking. I will switch over the laundry. Now in the video in my mind, I'm going to start fast forward. I finish the cooking. I finish eating the meal. I set my dish by the sink. And then I see myself walking toward the back of the house into the laundry room, and I'm beginning to switch the laundry over. As I see myself doing the very thing I said I would do, see this as an opportunity and an invitation to express gratitude. You could say something like, thank you. Nice job. I love that I followed through. This is a really nice add-on for a couple reasons. You may even have felt it as I was describing that. There's just a feeling of lightness and warmth that comes when we express sincere gratitude. So simply expressing the gratitude is a gift unto itself. It also has the second benefit of reinforcing the practice. We recognize when we're actually following through on what we said we would do, which builds trust in the practice's effectiveness. It makes us more likely to trust it in the future with those to-dos we really want to remember. And the third thing it does is it makes the practice more enjoyable. Because we're giving ourselves that lightness and that warmth that comes from the expression of gratitude, we're positively reinforcing the practice. We're associating the practice with good feelings, which makes us want to do it more in the future to feel those good feelings again. So it creates a virtuous cycle. So again, because this is a practice we do in real time under time crunches, the best way to practice it is through scenarios. I am teaching this class. I will get a sip of water. Yeah, nice job. All right, so let's dive back into our scenarios. Go and connect with your posture. Let your eyes be gently closed. See if you can sense any stillness or silence within you. Just gently connect with that energy. And in your mind's eye, picture yourself back at that intersection. Your foot's on the brake, your hands are on the wheel, that seatbelt is strapped across your chest. As you're looking out through the windshield, you're looking at that red light, and the light turns from red to green. And in that instant, you know, I can't set a reminder right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use I am, I will, because this idea just popped up in my head. I want to set out the chicken to defrost. So I am driving. I will set out the chicken to defrost. That's the method. Now fast forward the video in your mind's eye. You get home, you park, you come inside, you set the keys down, and what you watch yourself do is you go to the freezer, you pull that chicken out, and you set it on the plate to defrost. As you see yourself doing that, I invite you to imagine yourself right now saying silently or aloud, hey, nice job. Thank you. I love that I followed through on what I said I would do. Let yourself picture that now. Let yourself feel that now. This is how you practice the I am, I will method with the gratitude add-on, which positively reinforces the practice and makes it more enjoyable too. Good. Reconnect with your posture. Let your eyes be gently closed. Connect to any sense of stillness and silence you find within yourself. And let's do the second scenario. We're shopping. We've got that dentist appointment coming up. And so we don't really have much time to spare. And as we're shopping, we remember, I got to email my boss about the vacation request. No time to set a reminder. Use I am, I will. I am shopping. I will email my boss about my vacation request. Now, in your mind's eye, let that video fast forward. You finish the shopping, you put those groceries away, you finish your dentist appointment, and now you're sitting in the car in the dentist parking lot. You find yourself with a free moment. You see yourself pulling out the phone, opening your email app, and beginning to write an email to your boss about your vacation request. This is an opportunity to practice the optional add-on of expressing gratitude. As you watch yourself doing the very thing you said you would do, you could say something like, thank you. Nice job. I love that I followed through on my word. Let yourself picture that. Let yourself feel that. And it may give you a sense of how this optional add-on can both reinforce the practice and make it more enjoyable. All right, scenario number 3. Go and connect with your posture, eyes closed. See if you can sense a little bit of stillness and silence anywhere within you. And now you're next in line at the coffee shop. And that thought pops into your head. I got to pick up the dog's medications. No time for a reminder. You can get called up to place that order at any moment. Time crunch. I am, I will. I am in line at the coffee shop. I will pick up my dog's medications later. Nice job. You've employed the method. Now we'll let that video fast forward. You've ordered your coffee. You've drunk it. You've walked back to your car. You're driving. You're driving into the vet's office. You pull into the parking lot and you're walking through the door of the vet's office to pick up the medications for your dog. As you watch yourself doing the very thing you said you would do, recognize this opportunity to express gratitude. You say, thank you. Nice job. God, I love that I followed through. I love that I'm doing this right now. Notice any good feelings that arises in you. And notice how this positively reinforces the practice, making it more likely that you use it in the future. All right. So last thing I want to teach you today about the I am, I will method is a variation on this method you could use. And I call this the daisy chain. And this is a great method to use when you have a multi-step task in front of you that starts to feel overwhelming. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a series of ams and wills to break that complex task into a series of easy and simple tasks that we can do back to back to back. So again, because this is a method we use in reality in real time, the best way to learn it and to practice it is to use imagination and scenarios. So that's exactly what we're going to do again now. Go and gently connect with your posture. Let your eyes be closed. Cultivate even a little bit of stillness and silence within you. You might even take a nice, slow, deep breath. What I invite you to do is picture yourself in the kitchen and you're standing right in front of the sink. You look down in your left hand and you've got a dish sponge. And in your right hand, you got a bottle of dish soap. As you look in the sink and around the sink, you see a massive pile up of dirty dishes. Dishes of all kinds. And you start to feel stressed. You start to feel anxious. You start to feel overwhelmed. Right? There's a thought in your head that this is just too much. You kind of just want to walk away from it. But you know deep down that's not really what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to do these dishes and have the task be done. So what you can do is you can use I am and I will to break this big pile of dishes, this mountain of dishes, into a series of small and simple steps. And we're going to do that together now. So come back into this visualization of you standing in front of the sink with a sponge in one hand, dish soap in the other. And let's use I am and I will to begin working on these dishes. So I invite you to imagine yourself saying, I am soaping my sponge. I will scrub the blue cup. And now picture yourself soaping that sponge and getting it wet. And then once it's nice and lathered and ready, picture yourself reaching over to the side of the sink and grabbing a blue cup, pulling it down in front of you, and picture yourself beginning to scrub it. Now we've got the option for our gratitude add-on here. So now that you're doing the thing you had said you would do, which is scrubbing the cup, you could say, thank you, nice job, I love that I'm following through. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use I am and I will again to help us bridge from the cup to the next step. So I'm scrubbing that blue cup. The next step is to rinse the blue cup. So I say I am scrubbing the cup. I will rinse the cup. Right, now watch that happen. Watch yourself scrubbing that cup inside, outside, in exactly the way you want to, getting exactly as clean as you want it to be. And then picture yourself putting that cup under the water and turning it up and around to make sure it's fully rinsed. Notice what's happened. Right, you said, I am scrubbing the blue cup. I will rinse the blue cup. And now that's exactly what you're doing. Option to express gratitude again right here. Now use I am and I will again. I am rinsing the blue cup. I will set the blue cup on the drying rack. And then watch that happen. Watch yourself finishing rinsing the blue cup and then setting the blue cup over onto the drying rack. From there, you follow that same pattern. Right? I am setting the blue cup on the drying rack. Hey, option for gratitude. I will begin scrubbing the pot. And then as you were scrubbing the pot, I am scrubbing the pot. I will begin scrubbing the pan. And operating in this way, notice what happens. You have this beautiful balance and harmony of both being in the flow of your current activity and being in flow of the series of activities. And it's this combination of focus that helps us do a good job with each individual part of the activity and helps us flow through the activity in a manner that's timely and coherent and that just feels fluent to us. All right. Nice work. I invite you to give yourself a pat on the back. Feel free to give yourself a hug. You've done yourself a great service today by practicing this method. You started your day off on the right foot. I wish you good fortune. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.